Is being live streamed. Oh,
Yeah,
very good.
looks like we are online.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very good. Yeah, very good. So you tell me when you are ready, then I can put the recording also.
it's go ahead. It's live already. You can start recording as well, Kumar.
Okay, Sudhakar, you can take over.
Okay. Good morning and good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another exciting webinar. This is Sudhakar Uppala. I'm the founder and secretary of the JNTUH-Alumni Association. Welcome to all of you who are here in the Zoom call, as well as who are joining and watching through YouTube. So we have a small break for the webinars, and then we are starting these sessions once again. Thank you, Mr. Naveen, for coming forward to find a couple of great speakers and restarting this webinar series. And we have very exciting sessions. One is the most latest and most talked about technology, ChatGPT. And then we have Shubha, who is going to tell us about like career coaching and career and a lot of interesting topics. So welcome back again. And now I request Dr. Hari Apnapalli, who is the chairman and founder of JNTUH Alumni Association, to say a few words, and then we'll start the session. Thank you, Hari Garu.
Yeah,
Over to you.
thank you so much, Sudhakar, for the graceful introduction and relaunching this famous JNTU webinars monthly series. Thank you, Naveen, for taking the charge for this. So again, just to give you a brief history about the JNTU, which was founded in 1972 on October 2nd as the Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University with the three different campuses. One is in Hyderabad, Kakinada, and Anantapur. And later, after 30 plus years, that was bifurcated into three different universities, actually JNTU Hyderabad, JNTU Kakinada, and JNTU Anantapur. Now we represent the JNTU Hyderabad. So we have about 8 constituent colleges and over 270 affiliated colleges. So far, I was told we have about 2 million graduates with JNTU degrees all over the world. And on August 31st, 2020, during the COVID time, we decided to create the global network of alumni of JNTU and created the JNTUH Alumni Association in the USA. Now we are going into different parts of the world. So with this, our goal is to bring all the JNTU alumni together and serve our community, whatever it takes. And an example of that is today's webinar, to enlighten our JNTUans to improve their career and also their personal life and achieve their personal goals, and also bring our students coming from India to US, support them, and also our faculty for any research and exchange programs. And we did a lot of work during the COVID. We provided ambulances, PPE kits, oxygen concentrators, and did a lot of awareness webinars to how to protect the lives of the people. It's a commendable work the JNTU alumni did from the US, whatever is happening in India and other parts of the world. So with this, I would like to welcome all of you for this monthly webinars. And it took some time because of the COVID and other things we put on pause so that people can resume their regular lives. And now it's time to provide the valuable inputs to our JNTU alumni so that they can excel in their life. So with this, I would like to introduce our today's host, renowned speaker, Naveen Samala. He has several degrees, MS, MBA, LSS, MBB, CSM. He comes from a humble background, a first-generation postgraduate. Naveen has never-ending passion to make a difference in the careers and lives of millions of youth around the world. He is a seasoned IT executive with over 19 years of experience with specialization in championing business strategy, technology, and transformation initiatives aimed at achieving efficiencies across the business processes. Naveen is an Udemy instructor, author, CXO, resume writer, and seasoned blogger who posts motivating content on various social platforms. Naveen has trained over 2,700 people across the globe on various topics, including technology, management, Lean Six Sigma program, and project management. Naveen also coaches people on podcast mastery. He has coached over 500 IT professionals and over 1,000 students and helped them land in their dream jobs. People call him a humble, approachable leader and the king of performance and productivity. He hosts guiding voice podcasts in English, Hindi, and Telugu. TGV English is listed on global top 3%. Congratulations, Naveen. And we would like to welcome you and take charge to run the rest of the program. And we have great speakers today, as Sudhakar already mentioned, Tech Geek, Yashwant Sai Palgat, and Executive Coach Subha Lakshmi Narsimhan. We will welcome you, both of you, and we look forward to hearing your insightful experience and guidance to our alumni. Naveen, take it forward.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for the to entire executive committee for giving me this excellent opportunity to lead and organize the webinars for JNTU Alumni Association. In fact, this is a way of giving back to the university, because university is the one which has transformed each one of us and contributed to our professional success so far. So this is an excellent way to give back. That is one of the reasons why I'm committed to take this opportunity to serve as a co-director for webinars. And thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And I'm pretty much open for thoughts, and we thought we will present one technical and one personality development related topic during every webinar going forward. And in fact, this aligns with my podcast also. I host 2 episodes per week in English. Tuesdays are called Transformational Tuesdays, wherein I focus on personality development, and Thursdays or Tech Thursdays, I focus on technology related topics apart from entrepreneurship and leadership. And I strongly believe that knowledge sharing is caring, because if we aim to learn something in a way to share to somebody, we will learn it better. And that is one of the reasons why I keep on learning and sharing this knowledge. And I also try to pull in as many people as possible. And I have an excellent network on LinkedIn. And in fact, I'm also hosting a group called TGV Inner Circle, where majority of my speakers are already there, and they are contributing to many of my initiatives. Like if I were to talk about a few nuances about how motivated all those TGV Inner Circle members is, the moment I asked them, hey, who is willing to participate in this, I got 10 nominations within first 1 hour. So you can imagine, like we are going to host as many speakers as possible and cover as many diverse topics as possible. So on that note, for the very first session, after a gap of a few months, I think this is an excellent way to start with the excellent topic, which is currently trending across the globe. The most hottest topic in the industry, ChatGPT. And we have an excellent speaker, Mr. Yashwant Sai Palgat. Yashwant is just a 25-year-old techie, but he has so many achievements so far. And to name a few, he has already authored 3 books. He's a passionate YouTuber, and he has about 45,000 plus followers across various different platforms, including YouTube and Instagram. And in addition to that, he posts a lot of good content related to technology and current affairs, be it related to finance or personality development. Any topic you take, he's kind of master. And I don't know how he manages time. And I think this is an excellent way to begin our very first webinar after a break with Yashwant. And Yashwant, over to you. So you'll be able to share the screen also. And I heartily welcome you to this forum. And I'm super excited to have both you and Subha join the very first webinar. And keep the ball rolling. So just take the charge from here. Baton is yours.
Sure. Thanks for the introduction, Naveen, and greetings, everyone. Yeah, excited to be a part of this session where I would be talking about something which is very trendy and something I love to talk about. I also made a course on Udemy about how to use ChatGPT, how to make the most out of it. So this is something that I'm swimming currently. So yeah, I would love to take at least few of your minutes to discuss about ChatGPT and the future opportunities that are light in this space. And yeah, thanks once again for introduction and invitation. So, before beginning it, I just want to talk about a few things related to how things were happening in the tech industry. I mean, most of you are already in the IT industry, I believe. And I mean, people who are watching, like you might be student who is about to start your career. For every decade or two, like we see a revolution in tech. That revolution is something which is, I mean, completely different to what we are used to. In 2008, and all, like we see a global recession, and after that, like most of the jobs were out, new jobs get replaced. And even before that, from 1990s and all, like internet revolution takes place. Like before that, we used to program on like mainframes, and mostly like the programming and IT related jobs are hard those days. Once after the internet revolution started, like we take fun out of IT jobs. Everything is easy, everything is I can say possible. So that is the belief that internet revolution is taken. And after that, like we have seen like how many social media platforms are currently in, how many tech applications are in the place and changing the way that we live. And now into the picture, like AI is not something which is new, so it's more than 50-year or 60-year old technology. But the thing is how we are using AI. Like people are charging towards it. It might be Google, or if you can take any top tech, every company is laying off their own people because they want to save that money to invest on AI. So that is the mindset that companies are developing. And yeah, obviously, like OpenAI is something which is leading the race. And yeah, of course, Microsoft has taken over OpenAI, but that's other part. But the way companies are charging towards AI, we might see every new AI app, which is replacing ChatGPT or more than ChatGPT in the coming months. But yeah, ChatGPT is a foundation, and we must admit it. Like there were many search engines, but we prefer Google because it is something which has, taken that into the people. So similarly, ChatGPT, even Google came up with Bard AI, which is a failure, I can say. But yeah, Google can come back, but still ChatGPT has already created its roots across the world, across the students, across the professionals and all. So yeah, this is a good time to be in. And yeah, these are the early days again, because ChatGPT is still 4 months old. So if we can switch into using ChatGPT productively, then ultimately there are many opportunities which are about to come. So with that, like I will share my screen and start the presentation. I believe my screen is visible.
Not yet. We see your picture.
Okay.
It flashed for a moment. Yeah. Yes, we can see now.
Yep. So before beginning that, I need to convey this. Is ChatGPT the first of its kind? We can say like there was similar AI tools which can understand and interpret humans' text and can reply. Few of them were, like we use it daily, Google Voice or Siri or Alexa or Cortana. But still, there is a difference. I will tell that. So before we're discussing like how to use prompts and all, like what is ChatGPT. I don't want to dig it deeper because yeah, I don't want to teach how to build ChatGPT. So that is not the intention. So yeah, to be precise, like ChatGPT is a language model by OpenAI. So language model in the sense like it's something which is built on tech called natural language processing. It's a subtech on machine learning. So natural language processing is all about understanding natural language and interpret that and replying with the accurate reply. So like all these apps that I have mentioned earlier were built on NLP, because whatever we ask to Google Voice or Siri or Alexa or Cortana, they will understand what we are talking, which language we are talking, and they will give reply based on that. But there is a problem. Like if you can ask me, like there were many apps, there is a Google search engine and there is a ChatGPT, are both same, because we were writing our query in the ChatGPT and ChatGPT is responding. So if you can ask me what's the difference between Google and ChatGPT or any other search engine versus ChatGPT, so this is a difference. A book is a Google. So in general, like if you prefer reading books, So what we can get out of book is like knowledge. That's it. Like if you ask book to solve problems, it will not, but it will teach you how to solve problems. We can get formulas there. We can find many theorems there, but book alone cannot solve problems. But an individual or a person who read that book, who has the knowledge which is there in that book, he can solve problem. He or she can solve problems. So that is exactly the difference between search engine versus ChatGPT. Search engine can store all the data. Like if you publish a blog, if you publish a website, or if you publish anything in the internet, Google will crawl that and Google will store that. If you ask Google, like, I want to know about ChatGPT, if you write that, it will give you the results which were shared by someone. Like all these were pages in a Google's book. That's it. But if you ask Google to solve something, it will not do it by own, because it only has the data. It cannot interpret what you're asking. Of course, it can filter results, it can give you best possible results, but still it will not do it alone. But if you can ask, like, if you consider the book example, like if we have a book, if we have a book, mathematics book, let's assume, in mathematics book, you will see many formulas and many theorems. But if you ask a book to solve a Pythagoras theorem, you give some random numbers and you can ask book, no, because book cannot respond to you. Book can only give you some numbers, some formulas. But if you read that book, you are completely aware of that mathematics book. You know all the formulas. And if you are given some problem to solve, you will solve that, because you don't have just the data, you have knowledge. So knowledge is different from data. And that is what ChatGPT is trying to solve. ChatGPT has all the data. So that is for sure. Google has all the data. That is for sure. But the only difference why ChatGPT is getting hyped is because it can understand your data and it has some knowledge to share. So whatever you ask ChatGPT, it will give you, it will solve in that model first, because ChatGPT is built in a language model called GPT. So GPT itself is a model name by OpenAI. It contains huge petabytes of data. You can say, like, if Google has anything, like ChatGPT can also have that, because it is easy to crawl the pages if you are maintaining servers, and Microsoft is exactly doing the same thing. So ChatGPT have the data and ChatGPT have the knowledge as well. With the knowledge, it can talk to you like how a person with knowledge can talk. So that's the difference, and that's the impact that ChatGPT is creating. And there is a rise of new job after ChatGPT is getting into picture. So this is from Bloomberg, like, I'm not just writing random stuff here. This is from the Bloomberg. It states that, like, you can see here, the rise of AI tools has created a new role called prompt engineer. In the coming slides, you will get to know why companies are running towards prompt engineers. What's the benefit? Why they were paying more? Like, if you can see 2.75 crore annually, this is not something a small package. I can say in any country you can consider this is a huge package. And yeah, by the end of this presentation, you will get to know why is ChatGPT or prompt engineering is getting demand. And like how you can actually use ChatGPT. So like maybe in the coming slides, like I will also show my share my screen to show some prompts that we can utilize ChatGPT for. But in general, ChatGPT is everywhere. You can use ChatGPT for anything. It might be like my personal example, like I'm saving around 50% of my time using ChatGPT since 3 months. I mean, every day, like I'm putting my hands on ChatGPT. It might be for my work. It might be for my job, it might be for my content creation, it might be for my research, it might be for teaching, it might be to write something, whatever it might be. I'm using ChatGPT to save 50% of the time, and you can do it as well. So you can use it in variety of industries. Like ChatGPT is not something which is related to finance. It is not something which is related to healthcare. It is not something which is related to pure academics. It's related to everything. If Google have answer to any of your questions, it might be a link or something, ChatGPT can also do that. So you can see like it can be used in variety of industries. It might be including healthcare, education, customer support. Like it's not easy to mention all because it has its roots in everything. And yeah, as we had a word about why organizations are investing heavily. Of course, like every organizations are investing heavily in research and development of these kind of language models after ChatGPT came into picture. And yeah, like the last point is just to mention few roles, but not like these roles are limited, but there is potential for every individual with ChatGPT expertise. It might be for data scientist, might be for software engineers, it might be for digital marketers, product managers, or consultants, or you can consider any role. Like I can say like ChatGPT will be helpful for you. And one important thing that we should know about ChatGPT is prompts. Prompts are like queries, I can say. If we ask something in Google, that's a query, such query. But if we put the same on ChatGPT, according to the new terminology, people are calling it prompts. So that's the reason why I'm also going with the same. And prompt is something that we give input as, like it might be an input. Like if you have a doubt, if you want to write about something in your website, like I want a landing page copy for my e-commerce website, and you are giving details about what your product is about and something, that's an example. So that is a prompt. You are asking ChatGPT what you need from him, that tool. So it's similarly like if you are talking with a web designer or web developer, like you give some input, you give your requirement document, right? Similarly, whatever you give to ChatGPT is a prompt. And if you want to make most out of ChatGPT, these are the things that we should consider. First thing, be specific, because ChatGPT is 4-month-old. Only 1% of the people, 1% of the users who are using ChatGPT are making most out of it. Rest others are like they're just using for entertainment or for fun, for time pass. That's it. But if you want to get the most out of it, you need to be specific. The more specific that you write, the more specific that you mention your need, the more accurate response you will get from ChatGPT. It's not that you are asking direct questions and you expect ChatGPT to do entire thing. No, it's not how it works. And you need to give context. Like as I said in the example, like I want to write a landing page copy for my website, which is an e-commerce space. If I tell something like this is not like, I'm not providing any context. I need to provide context, like what items do I actually sell, like which locations that I'm targeting, what are the different payment methods that I'm accepting. Like these are the things that I need to give. So if we can provide decent or good information, then ultimately it will provide us accurate responses. And use multiple prompts. Maybe this thing, like we can understand after seeing the ChatGPT console, but still it's like a question and answer thing. Like ChatGPT is giving you a response on something. It's not that that is a final thing. We need to ask ChatGPT the reverse questions. You need to see like whether it's right or not, or you need something more or not. You can still talk like that is not something that I need. I also need this. You can give multiple prompts so that you can fine tune your response. And the other thing is you need to evaluate the results. One bigger problem that many people were doing is like, even I got to know from many students that I know that they were using it for solving assignments and all, but that's fine. But up to certain level, it's not that everything ChatGPT will tell you is 100% accurate. You might land into trouble sometimes. Even there is a problem happened with Samsung company. Some of their software engineers are asking ChatGPT to do entire thing. But what they did was like they also shared some information which is not to be shared. So for that, like there is a violation happen, like because whatever we give to ChatGPT, it will be stored in ChatGPT's database to fine tune the model. So like we need to make sure that whatever we are giving, like we need to use that in a clever way. It's not that we are giving everything. No, like the issue happened recently in Samsung. Yeah, some of their software engineers are they shared their credentials and some secret information to ChatGPT, and it was revealed by some users search again. Because if someone is asking something, ChatGPT will only give you based on the knowledge that it has. If I ask what is the credential of some Samsung company's user something, then ultimately if you have revealed that to ChatGPT, it can give you that. So because it is an AI model, it is not a human, so there are some limitations to it. So that's the reason why you need to evaluate the results, and you need to be careful of what you're asking ChatGPT. And now I will share my screen, ChatGPT console. So like these are some of the things, because I can show that by writing one by one. It takes time because of the time limitation. I have already I'm already sharing the things that I have tried with ChatGPT so far. Let's take this example. Like it's like I ask a ChatGPT that like I want to buy a car next month. I am taking the help of ChatGPT to make that decision. So it's like completely a product research or market research. Like I'm asking ChatGPT in the first prompt that what are the things that I should consider before buying a car, and it's giving me all these things. Like you need to consider type, fuel type, safety features and all. And after that, I'm also giving the reverse question that is car a really good asset for me, because I only have 10 lakhs in my savings and I don't have any other assets. I'm asking it, and again, like it's saying it can be a good asset for you if you are traveling daily. Otherwise, it's not a good thing because it's a depleting asset. So it's giving, the proper decision making help for me. Even after that, I'm already, again asking questions like, is it good to go by loan or buying it once? And it's also saying me like, if you can evaluate these things and if you feel you're good ahead, go ahead, otherwise stop. So that's what something that is doing. So in this, I can say in this console, like I want to show that we can use it to take clever decisions. It's not that you believe whatever ChatGPT say, because it depends on the type of prompts that you pose. If I simply ask, I want to buy a car next month, suggest me some cars, like you will find that in Google as well. But it's not how you need to use ChatGPT. You want to use it in such a way that you need to be more specific and you need to provide good amount of context so that it will give you enough information and enough decision making help. And yeah, market research is something that we can do with ChatGPT. And other thing, like as we mentioned, I am giving a prompt that I have a website about online shopping deals. I want to write an about page about that website, and I post deals every day on electronics, clothing, and appliances. It's giving me the landing page copy. And I again like included another prompt that we post deals from top e-commerce website like Amazon, Walmart, Alibaba, and Flipkart. Also include this, and like it modified the information. So it's the example that you can take from this is like you need to ask multiple questions and you need to be more specific. So if I ask this prompt, the first prompt, it's giving me I can say a generic template, but I want more specific because I post what I am posting, like I post deals from a popular e-commerce website. I also want to mention that. So in this way, we can customize content pieces. We can get some landing copy templates and all. It's not that we can use this directly. No, you need to fine tune it. That's fine. But still, you're getting a template. That's important here. And like this is completely for a learning purpose. So I'm asking ChatGPT to help me with interview preparation. I'm just asking like I have a Java interview tomorrow. I'm a fresher graduate with basic knowledge, and the interview is for a company called ABC. I'm asking ChatGPT to provide me a roadmap that will help me to prepare for Java interview in a week. I'm also mentioning that thing like I have only core Java knowledge. So it's giving me a step-by-step roadmap for 7 days. Like day one, what should I prepare? Day two, what should I prepare and all? Like for 7 continuous days, it is giving me the roadmap. And I'm also asking ChatGPT, can you suggest some basic interview questions that can I expect? It is giving me that as well. And now here comes a good thing. We can also ask ChatGPT to role play. It's like I'm asking, act as a Java professional and take an interview for me. So I'm just asking ChatGPT to take an interview so that I can get mock interviews. So it's also doing that as well. Like it is asking me 10 questions and asking me to respond to these questions so that it can evaluate my performance. So this is one area, again, like we can use ChatGPT for, like, especially if you're a student or someone early professional, like if you're watching this is something that will really help you. And other good thing, I'm asking ChatGPT to create a resume for me. And this is a good thing because it gave me the complete end-to-end resume. The only thing is like I need to ask the relevant questions. That is important because I'm giving everything here. I want you to help me create a resume for software engineer pressure role. My name is this, my mobile is this, my email is this, my address is this, my education is this. Like I'm putting up everything here and asking ChatGPT to come up with a resume template based on the information that I have provided. Like the objective thing, like I haven't mentioned here, but based on my skills and my qualifications, it's coming up with an objective. It's coming up with project descriptions. It's coming up with personal attributes. These are the things that I haven't asked to ChatGPT. But based on my skills and my intention to create a resume, it's giving me the complete template. So this is also one area that we can use ChatGPT for. And like these are the things like up to now, I have concentrated things mostly for students or for learning purpose. Like, but yeah, the previous one, if you can see, like these kind of research we can do also for work purpose as well. And let's suppose this is something like I manage a clothing brand called Fashion ABC. I want to write a product description. Like I want to post in LinkedIn or I want to announce somewhere about my product. I'm asking ChatGPT that this is my product and these are the features of this product. I want to write some description for it. It's good. It's putting me this description. I'm also asking to write a high catching hook to attract readers. It's also giving me that. And as a reverse question, I'm asking like write a personalized email template as well, so that I can roll out an email to existing customers to buy this product, and it's giving me as well. So this is something like, if you're a brand and if you want to, I can say, reduce the time, reduce the effort that you're putting, this is something which is beautiful, because email, like, actually you don't need to be putting a lot of effort to research for templates and all. If you can ask ChatGPT and you can give the proper context, it will give that. And if you can see, this is something that I'm asking like, I'm an individual and I need some business ideas. My age is this, I have a capital of this. I'm asking ChatGPT to provide me some business ideas. And in that business idea, if I choose one and ask like how to start that, like I'm telling something like, I want to start a food delivery service in my town with a population of 100K, suggest a roadmap from scratch to get started. And it's giving me the roadmap, step-by-step roadmap here, like conduct market research, develop a business plan. And like, I'm not stopping there. I'm also asking ChatGPT the one by one, because it suggested me some 10 random steps. I want to make sure that ChatGPT is providing me more accurate information. So I'm asking at least like one by one, like how to conduct a market research, and it's giving me multiple options. See, it's how like we can also use ChatGPT to ideate something or to fine tune our ideas. And we need someone to discuss, like, we have an idea, but we don't know how to brainstorm that. We might, in general, we believe on our friends or a network, like we talk with them, we brainstorm so that we can get some ideas. But if and most of us like will stop getting our idea to the next level, because like we don't have moral support, or we don't have people who discuss with us in general. Now you can use ChatGPT as a friend as well, so that it can help you with some resources and some quality tips. Now this is some fun, like I'm asking ChatGPT to write a sick leave template for me, and I'm also giving my manager name here. And I'm asking ChatGPT to include the thing like I will be checking emails in case of urgency and all. Like these are all the quick things. Like, if you want to write that, or if you want to spend time on, like we might take 10 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes to draft and write this. But asking this only took me, I can say 30 to 40 seconds, and it gave me the entire thing here. And again, like I'm asking something like, I want to write a cold email to a startup founder. Like I am looking for a project or internship. I want to write a cold email to a startup founder, and his name is Alok. The name of the startup is ABC, and I'm applying for marketing intern role. I have a decent portfolio. Please write a cold email template by including tools or skills that I know. And it's giving me the cold email template as well. So here, like we can use this for freelancing or for internship. We can use the same for job template as well. And I can also show some things. Yeah, here, like we can, like, I just want to give an example that anyone or any individual can use ChatGPT. I have asked a ChatGPT, like, can you generate a movie story based on what if Christopher Nolan directed Bahubali? Like, I want to see like how Christopher Nolan directs Bahubali and what is his way of thinking. And it gave me some story with a random title, Bahubali: The Dark Knight Rises. And after reading the story, I felt like there is some touch of Nolan missing. And I asked it, like, can you add some science fiction to it, similar to old Nolan movies like Interstellar? And it gave me Bahubali: Interstellar War. So, if you want to generate more ideas, or if you need some brainstorming help on anything, it might be, this is for story writers. Like if story writers want to fine tune their thinking process or to get some new ideas or story ideas, still this is helpful. So not only this, actually, there were many other things that we can do with ChatGPT. Like I don't want to, share more of the work related things, because that might be too direct. But I can say that like I'm using ChatGPT in my work as well to reduce my effort in most of the things which I feel taking time or manual. Similarly, any individual, it might be, I showed like you can use it for interview preparation, resume creation, or writing some automated templates and all. You can use it for work as well, because in areas like SEO and content writing, this is super helpful. And also if you are a software engineer, like gone are the days like where we need to depend on Google and Stack Overflow to solve our queries. Now ChatGPT is better than that, because in Stack Overflow, Google, like if we search for our query, like we need to spend a lot of time to find out what's the right query, because Google only takes some keywords from your query and give you relevant results. But ChatGPT can understand. ChatGPT can give you accurate results based on the knowledge that it has. So yeah, I got to know from many of my friends that it's very useful for them in coding. And even like I tried, creating many different mini projects using ChatGPT. Earlier, like I found like spending 3 to 4 months using that, but now it's only taking days or weeks to do that. Of course, with all these things, like one would wonder, like instead of creating that euphoria on ChatGPT, it's also creating fear to many of the people. Like if we can use ChatGPT to do things which takes months and days, then what's the future of our jobs? And that's something which is the biggest question in like every individual's mind these days. The answer to that is like I will show here. In general, like ChatGPT will not replace your job, but the individual using ChatGPT effectively will definitely replace your job. So it's not like ChatGPT is giving warning to us, but still, I feel whatever the latest technology is, if it has a broader scale, any tech it might be, then ultimately we should adapt to that definitely. Earlier, the similar example is internet revolution. Many of the companies in 90s started ignoring internet is just a few year hype, that's it. And companies who ignored internet are nowhere visible now. Companies who really cared about internet, it might be anything, it might be healthcare, it might be military services, it might be satellite communication, or it might be anything. Many of the companies considered internet for that. Even you can say universities or colleges nowadays, like no institution or organization is running without depending on computers or internet, right? Similarly, if particular technology has roots spread across the world, across different domains, then ultimately we should adapt to that. And that's the reason why ChatGPT is getting hyped as well. So if we ignore ChatGPT, if we ignore using ChatGPT, then ultimately one person who took that seriously will replace your job. That's for sure, because of course, like there is a fear surrounded that ChatGPT will replace software engineers. No one will replace ChatGPT. No one will blindly trust AI for that. Like your CEO will not write code, using ChatGPT. He has many other things to do, but he will hire one software engineer who is also good at ChatGPT. He can now lay off 3 to 4 software engineers in that, by replacing that. So this is the thing here. So whatever domain that we are part of, let's suppose like I am a digital marketer. I work as a digital marketer in general. So if I ignore ChatGPT completely, then ultimately someone who is a digital marketer who can also do good results with ChatGPT can replace me in the future, because he can use ChatGPT and he can do that same task that I'm doing in less than 5x or 6x time. So he will be preferred than me. So that is something that I wanted to convey. ChatGPT is never going to replace you, but definitely a smart person using ChatGPT will replace. So this is something. And for people, like if you feel like these are some prompt templates that I have created, there were around 50 templates. Like if you feel like asking prompts is a difficult thing, you can follow these templates. Not only these, you will find many on the internet already. There is a wide circulation of different prompts, which are successful prompts as well. Like some of the things that I've already shown. And if you want to be more like, here, like I have shared 50 different prompts on different areas. Like if you feel like anyone requires this, I can also share the document. Like if you can message me on LinkedIn as well. So yeah, these are the things that I want to convey. I think, and this is something not only on like using it for jobs or using it to prepare for interviews. If you're someone who wants to make money using ChatGPT, of course, making money is something that is an ultimate goal. It might be for job, it might be for interview preparation, whatever it might be. So these are the areas which can get more benefit apart from jobs or apart from things. Because freelancing, yeah, it's difficult, because most of the things that are involved in freelancing these days, like it might be sending cold email or following up with things, or you can see content writing. These are all the most demanded freelancing gigs. So you can use ChatGPT. If you are a content writer and struggling to find freelancing gigs, you can use ChatGPT to reduce that effort and spend more time on learning things. And blogging is something. it might be any kind of blogging, it might be anything. If you have an idea and if you are struggling to present that, you can make use of this. And digital marketing, as I said, like, it might be for SEO purpose, it might be for writing good copies, it might be to do market research, anything it might be. ChatGPT will help us. And consulting as well. In the days of modern consulting business, if you want to solve complex problems and new problems coming these days, like, you can use ChatGPT to put more research on it, and you can deliver the best. Even it will be applicable to software engineers, medical professionals. The list is never ending. So with that, like, I want to conclude this mini presentation. Of course, like, this is not enough, I believe, because there is a huge lot of information that one can get from ChatGPT. But yeah, because of the time things, I believe at least, like, you get like why ChatGPT is getting hype. So that's something that I want to convey. And I also want to tell one important thing to people who are watching, especially if you are in your early stage of your career. Never ignore any latest tech. It might be ChatGPT, or it might be Midjourney, it might be, there were plenty of tools out there. If you believe that many around you are talking, there is something to that. Otherwise, people will not care, right? So there were many other, small tech as well. But if not everyone is talking, it's fine. You can ignore that. But if people around you are talking, you need to consider like why they were talking. You need to research on that way. And if you feel that that's something that there is something to learn or something to explore, definitely try put your hands and make your hands dirty. So that's something. With that, yeah, I will conclude. And if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer.
Excellent. This is fabulous session, and it reminds of a quote by Alvin Toffler, who says, "The illiterate of the future will not be the person who cannot read it. It will be the person who does not know how to learn new things." So I think it is essential for each one of us to upgrade ourselves. And you have reiterated the importance of adapting to new technologies. And kudos to you, Ashwant. And we have a couple of comments as well as questions coming in the chat window. And first one is from Mr. LK. ChatGPT is unfortunately quite helpful for working professionals, but can we say the same for students? Is this going to help them improve or make them look for easier routes to complete their academic projects? And how do you see this benefiting the students?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. More than working professionals, it's helping the students. But the thing is, yeah, it's helping students to do their assignments in a quick time. If we can, there were two things. If we can see that in a good way, yes, people are able to use the tech effectively. We can see that in a good way. And there is 50% of a bad thing is also there. The thing, because even like assignments are dead these days. Like, if we can give student an assignment, how many of organizations or how many of universities in India or across the world are giving assignments to students who can think? There is nothing in that. Like, if there is a subject called Java programming, and if a Java professor is giving an assignment to students, what will he do? He will give the information which is already available in the internet. Or you can say, like, there is one problem, he will explain that in the classroom and ask to come up with the homework other way. Like, in general, even without ChatGPT, they can do that. If they are smart enough, they can do that. But the thing is, if he is able to solve the problem in any different manner, that's the important here, because he is doing the problem solving with the use of AI. That's still fine, because there were more than 90% of the people are not even aware of how to solve problems using internet. Even like I can correlate this in my college days, where majority of my colleagues, like, if there is an assignment, they used to depend on class toppers. Instead, like, even like internet is accessible that time, but still they prefer asking to class toppers, because they feel like even researching on internet and even like Google searching is difficult. Majority of the people, we feel like Google search is simple thing, but even like majority of I can say, if you can consider 100 out of 100, even 70 to 75 are not even confident on searching things properly. They're not even aware of how to use Google properly. Only the top 20 to 25% will survive. And if even like using ChatGPT to solve assignments is not a I can say, piece of cake for everyone. Only people who has that idea, like, we can use ChatGPT to do that. Then ultimately, someday, what will happen is, like, let's take an example of the coding thing, because I was mentioning that in 1960s or 1965's early days, like, coding thing is very complex. because to implement a small feature, we need to write thousands and thousands of lines of code. In 1980s, it came C and C++ and all. It reduces the complexity. After 2015 and all, we are heavily depending on languages like Python because it is completely high level and it is very complex. We can use only few lines to write. Here, the thing is, we are instead of treating any other tech, it might be coding as some skill or some technology. We need to assume that as we use coding for problem solving, that's it. If the problem is getting solved, then we don't need to think about how they are solving and what are the techniques they were using to solve. That's nowhere relevant. Nowadays, no code is also getting popular. Like earlier, 10 years back, if you want to develop a website, you need, you can say, tens of developers. You need a lot of months to do that. Nowadays, there were things like WordPress, which like any individual without any experience of technology or coding can do that. The thing is, every day we are adapting to the latest things and latest technologies and trends, and no one can stop that. You cannot stop an individual from using ChatGPT to solve their problems, because then like you're stopping a generation of people to grow indirectly. So if a student is using ChatGPT to solve the assignment, he's a good problem solver already in the first place. So we need to admit that. With the evolution of tech, we also need to evolve. So I can say this is not 100% wrong. It's 70% good, 30% wrong, because they were putting everything on that. But who knows, like after 3 to 4 years, the tech that he is teaching, the tech that is the tech or the subject that he was learning might not be relevant in the coming days, because maybe some other AI tool will come and replace the complexity in learning the subject. So I can say, yeah, it's not really unfortunate. It's fortunate enough that we are living in a good age.
Excellent. And recently, one of the universities in Bangalore, I don't know the full form of the university, but RV University has banned the usage of ChatGPT in the campus. And again, with the threat that students are going to completely copy the inputs from ChatGPT. That is one aspect. And second aspect is there are new tools that are getting generated to validate whether a content is written by ChatGPT or some other person, right? So likewise, there are new avenues or career opportunities coming through. And on the flip side, I recently read an article which said 85 million jobs will be impacted, and because of ChatGPT. And that is not just limited to ChatGPT as such, but in my opinion, the entire artificial intelligence stream has a potential to impact our jobs. So that's why we have to always think about looking on the creative aspect of it. Very well covered, Yashwant. And here comes the next question from Dr. Hari Garu. How do you invoke the ChatGPT session to post our questions, and how to redirect and save the responses? So a part of it is just you have to open your browser and type in chat.openai.com and go ahead and register yourself. And right now the licenses are available for purchase, and they are also coming up with a SaaS model. And I have also experimented with ChatGPT a month ago when I did one episode in Telugu. And in fact, I have sought ChatGPT's help to write to write the show notes for a couple of episodes, and it was good. And in fact, if we don't like a response, you can ask for more. Can I get a different answer? Likewise, it is going to tweak the answers. So just to answer it simply, it is a browser based, and all the content that we are asking, it stays there, and the history of the responses as well as the questions will stay there. So that is the one. And
Levin, can you repeat that? Chat.open, you said?
It is chat.openai.com.
Oh.
I'll post it in the chat, okay, sir. Don't worry.
Yeah, I have already posted in the chat.
Okay.
And if we ask, next question is from Nagesh Garu. If we ask ChatGPT to provide the content for marketing cloud service offering for our company website, can we use it as the content is provided without any violation of the content ownership? I think, this covers the legality part as well as the intellectual property part. So Yashwant, you may want to answer this.
Sure. So that's a good question, and that's a common question for many of the content writers as well. Like, can we use the ChatGPT content as it is in our website, or can we post the complete blog written by ChatGPT in our website? The thing is, like, that's the reason why I said, like, how to ask prompts. Like, you need to be more specific and you need to provide more context. The reason why I said is because if you are providing more context, It's like my company does this, my product does this. Like these are all your own inputs. Like these inputs, like you cannot copy from anyone else. So if you're providing right context with the right inputs, then ultimately ChatGPT will give you a response based on your inputs. So majority of the cases that is only specific to your company. You'll only see the keywords. You'll only see, I can say, whatever the brands that you're mentioning that are completely relevant to you. So there is no way that you are getting violated. But still, there are few cases, like if you're writing a blog or if you're writing something from the internet, then ultimately you need to make sure that you will not blindly just copy and paste the information from ChatGPT. You need to verify that. You need to make sure that that has relevant information or not. It's not like, as I said, like bloggers can use ChatGPT. It doesn't mean they can use it to write entire blog. So that don't work, because then ultimately ChatGPT will replace you. So no, the thing is, you need to be aware of what you are writing. If you are a blogger, then ultimately you can take the help of ChatGPT to become better at that. Similarly, if you are a can say copywriter or something, you can use the ChatGPT for better input. Like you can get the template directly. So based on the template, you can fine tune that, you can customize that according to your needs. But yeah, you cannot directly copy and paste anything from ChatGPT, because if you're not providing enough context, it give you some random template from the internet. That's it. If you copy that, again, like it might be a violation because someone is already using the template. So don't fall into the trap of like just copy and paste again. That's the reason, if you provide more context or more specific to that, as I showed in my previous examples, for an e-commerce brand or shirt company, like I have mentioned some inputs, like these are the products that I'm offering, and these are the companies that I'm dealing with. These are the futures that it has. So I'm mentioning everything from my knowledge, from my thinking. So it's giving me the content based on that. So it won't be a copyright, because these are my own thoughts, like how a content writer can write in the website. So yeah, you need to be more specific. That's the only thing that I can say, and not just blindly depend on ChatGPT for everything to copy and paste.
Yeah, great. Ashwant, now we'll move to the next question. It is from Kumar, Rani garu. How does it help in healthcare?
Yeah, I saw that recently in Twitter, like one MBBS doctor, I mean, he's using ChatGPT to study the cases. I can say to study the cases in his hospital. He said it is benefiting him a lot more than the knowledge that he has. It is helping him a lot to do that. And also in research, I can say it might be as an education purpose, or it might be, or if you want to know about some complex symptoms or complex problems, I can say anywhere, like the same purpose, like how software engineers are using ChatGPT, how digital marketers are using ChatGPT. Similarly, healthcare professionals can also use ChatGPT. It's not that ChatGPT knows more than you. You need to be in such a way that ChatGPT is your friend, which can assist you in your queries. If you have no knowledge on something, then there is no point in asking ChatGPT. Like if I'm a digital marketer or a software engineer, if I'm asking ChatGPT about healthcare or how to treat a person with these symptoms, if I ask ChatGPT and blindly follow that, it makes no sense, because I am not a healthcare professional and I don't have any knowledge about that. So similarly, whatever area that you're working, whatever the area that you are in, you need to use that effectively. So that is what I can say, because there are no jobs who are only ChatGPT based. In your area, in your expertise, ChatGPT can be used. So it might be any area. Even you are a healthcare professional, you can use that.
I think it is domain agnostic at this point in time. And because professionals from various domains start using it, and it also gets matured, because it is a learning-based intelligent system, as far as I know. And here comes the next question from Wing Commander Arakala Kamalakar. Can it write a book on a central theme? Yeah, I have tried to generate a plot and a chapter based on a particular theme, and it was able to do it. And when it comes to book, I have never tried. Ishwant, over to you. Like, did you try?
Yep. I tried some writing some ebooks, story-based books for kids, and yeah, it's you can do that actually, but you cannot publish I can say a main book using ChatGPT, because if you can copy paste anything, you might witness some copyright claims and all. But if you want to sell some story books for kids and all, you can write an ebook using ChatGPT and you can sell. If that is working out, that's good. Otherwise, yeah, hard luck. But you cannot publish a book with a publisher using the content that is copied from ChatGPT. There might be some violations. So yeah, you can write a book, but not a book which is published by any publisher. You can do some ebook kind of thing. You can sell stories, or you can sell some business case studies. So these kind of things you can write as a storybook and you can sell to kids, because there is no plagiarism. There is no point of that, because stories are anyways like unique. You can fine tune it in any way.
And one other thing,
Okay.
when you mentioned about this plagiarism, people might claim copyright for whoever is generating that response first, right? So we are in the interesting times. We have to see how things are going to evolve. And here comes the next interesting question from
Naveen,
Manjula.
1 second. Quick, Naveen, can I ask? Can I interrupt for 1 second?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Quick comment, okay? When I know our Kamlakar Garu's request, okay, what he's asking about is a book writer, okay? So when I tried with ChatGPT on story creation, okay, so it gives the constructs, okay, how to create a story, and it also creates characters, okay, and it's just your imagination. You need to give the actual flow, okay. I mean, how do you want to? But it can be a helpful tool, okay. So, thanks.
Sure. Thank you.
Adding to your point, like
Manjula,
a story writer,
sorry.
I mean,
Sorry, Naveen, one quick thing. We have another speaker, so let's have 2 more questions answered, then we'll move on to the next one. Thank you.
Sure. So this is another interesting question from Manjula. Will my prompts information become public or used by others without my knowledge? Maybe Yashwant, you can answer it crisply.
Yeah. In general, by default, ChatGPT will use your prompts to train itself. Because if you are providing any prompts to ChatGPT, it will use that to train and become better at giving replies. Of course, ChatGPT will use that information, but it will not directly, according to in the homepage, you will see some documents, some privacy information in ChatGPT. ChatGPT will not explicitly use your information to share anywhere, but it can use to develop as an algorithm. It's like if you're teaching something to an individual, he can use that information to build his knowledge so that he can do better at whatever he is doing. Similarly, ChatGPT might use your information, Microsoft might have the access to that information, but still according to that privacy document, like there were chances. If you feel like ChatGPT is revealing your information anywhere, you can file a lawsuit, because according to their privacy, they will not explicitly share your information. Even the Samsung's thing, it was leaked because one of the Samsung employees have taken a screenshot and posted in social media to share that excitement. And in that way, like people got to know about that. But yeah, ChatGPT will not explicitly share your information, but you need to be aware, like you're not sharing any information which you feel secret, or which you feel that cannot be shared. It's okay to share your personal details and all, because ChatGPT cannot do that. If you want to write better content, or if you want to use the most out of it, you need to provide some information. Otherwise, if you're not specific about that, ChatGPT might not give you accurate things. But yeah, according to their privacy policy, it will not explicitly share your information anywhere in the internet.
Okay. Sounds great. And here comes the last one from Mr. Sriman. Can you custom learn the ChatGPT language models? Are APIs available to integrate with enterprise systems?
Yes, there were. Even like if you open the OpenAI website, when you are logging in first time to ChatGPT, you will be redirected to OpenAI page instead of ChatGPT page. There is a thing called try ChatGPT. Another thing is in the menu, you will also see get API. You will get an API token, and you can customize the ChatGPT and build your own as well. Even I tried building my own ChatGPT in my website. It is live as well. But yeah, you can do that. You can use OpenAI API tokens to do that. Currently, it is free. You can do that until it's converted to paid.
Perfect. So, Yashwant, this was fabulous session, and you have exceeded the expectations. I think we couldn't have.
Can I ask one question, Andy, to Yashwant?
Yeah, I think we can take that last one.
Yeah, I am Vishwanath. Anyway, the question is what is the, you are saying the open chat, that is chat, right now it is free, right? So it is going to be charged, or version number 4 is a charged one right now, 3.5 is not, correct?
Yeah, yes. Currently, we were using 3 and 3.5. I mean, both were embedded in the same thing that is available for free version. And ChatGPT Pro is also available currently. Only Pro version users can access the GPT-4 features. And I think going forward, I mean, there is no wonder that after 2 to 3 months, we can see ChatGPT is also being converted to a paid version.
Yeah, could be. And I mean, just a general question. I applied for a API that is for code. Normally, how many days does it take?
In general, like for me, like I'm using it in the first 24 hours itself. I have taken that API key and I just added that in my blog as a new plugin and I'm using that instantly. But if you're building a new application using the OpenAI's GitHub code, then ultimately I think it takes more than that. And now it is taking more, I believe, because of the demand that API is getting.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Naveen and Yashwant. Actually, I tried to log into Chat GPT, but it was saying that no licenses. But while in the session, I was able to log in and create a session. So it looks like licenses are there now. So if you want a free license, grab it as soon as possible. I was just asking a question. What are the best places to visit nearby to show to my grandchild who is 3 years old? It just quickly came up with the 5 options nearby me. So it's very powerful, interesting. You can use it for any purpose, not just technology. So yeah, so it's very interesting, and all the tech, when tech stuffs definitely should use it. And I was told it used 175 billion parameters to really answer your question. That was a ChatGPT version 3. I think version 4, I don't know how big it is. So it's an amazing technology. We should know it. We should use it. If you don't use it, like you are out of date with the technology. Thank you.
Yeah. And
So we will, Vishwanath Gar, sorry to interject you. We will just a couple of 5 minutes of a couple of other sessions, then we'll continue to the next session. But I just want to introduce like Kumar Rani, our president, to say a few words about the organization and his recent visit to India and what are the next steps, followed by Mr. Vishwa giving a quick overview of what we did in the second annual convention we did in November. So each of you get like 2 to 3 minutes of time, and then we'll continue with the next session. So we'll start with Kumar Garu. Kumar Garu, please unmute and say a few words.
Yeah, hi everybody. This was a wonderful session. Welcome again, and thanks and kudos to Naveen organizing this wonderful session topics. Very interesting. Nobody talks. Everybody is glued to the session now, and wonderful, great actually. Just update regarding the alumni activities. A couple of things that recently I visited Hyderabad, the JNTUH-AA-USA, and Vice Chancellor, Rector, Registrar, and all the professors. Couple of professors were there. So last time when we went, requested Vice Chancellor that we need a contact person on a full-time basis so that we will know all the activities going on in JNTU campus, and also we would like to update. So really he took it serious and he appointed Professor Suresh Kumar as our alumni coordinator. So anytime we should be able to reach him, and he's going to conduct anything, meetings or whatever the sessions, and so we will get updates what's going on from the university. Also, we extended our invitation from our Alumni Association of USA to Vice Chancellor visit USA. He was supposed to be there last time, but he said that during summertime he will be here so that we get a chance to meet him. And regarding the Alumni Association building, we had a land also allocated to us, but I think due to some other executive related constraints and pressures, we were given a building which was a State Bank of India, which is located at present, the building for the Alumni Association, because State Bank of India is moved to a new building. So that building will be renovated, going to be renovated, and completely dedicated for our alumni activities. So these are the things. So I just wanted to update you. And also there is a if anybody wants to visit, there is a Atithi building, actually, Atithi Bhavan, and we can coordinate with Suresh Kumar, and so he can accommodate in that building so that people go there, alumni can stay there, and all the facilities will be provided. So these are the things happened recently. I just wanted to update you. And now hereafter, we have to everybody, all the directors, we need to work on to increase our membership. We are on 300 plus, and that's our next goal. So webinar started. Next soon we are coming up with J1, third J1. We are going to get it soon, and Suresh and Chapidi and the team will going to work on it, and we'll make a very successful thing. Thank you, Sudhakar. Take over.
Kumar Garu. Now I'll ask Vishwanath Narahari, our treasurer, and he was also convener for the second annual convention we had in New Jersey in November. So we want to say a few words about how the convention went on. Vishwanath Garu, you have 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Sudhakar Garu. Like Sudhakar Garu said, my name is Vishwanatham Narahari, and I live in New Jersey. And I'm very happy person for conducting the November 5th convention in New Jersey. This is the second convention of JNTUH. There were more than 150 people attended during the day session, and it was divided into 2, day session and night session. And many people have sponsored, and with this, our JNTUH organization, by money wise, we are now in positive by donations and by sponsorships and all that. And many people have helped and worked a lot of legwork. Like Sudhakar Garu did a lot of things. Srini Bhattu is also, I think, around here. I saw him earlier. He also helped a lot. And Suresh Somisetti helped a lot. And our executive committee, but not, every single person helped to make it big. And we were all very happy, and people came, a lot of people came from Dallas and California and every part of the United States, and it was very well organized. And that's it for now. We are looking forward for the next convention, and that is it. And as a treasurer and as a convener, I had to do 2 roles that time. But everything went okay because of our executive member support and all the volunteers and everybody. Thanks again to everyone.
Thank you, Vishwa. We are definitely going to have another convention. We need to figure out, and definitely there are a lot more things are coming up. And Naveen, back to you to introduce the next speaker and continue with the next session. Thank you.
Sure. So thank you, Sudhakar. And with that, I take the privilege of introducing Subha Lakshmi Narasimhan, one of my friends, well-wishers. And I don't know, it's just been 2 years that we connected, but it feels as if we have been connected for over 20 years. She has excellent networks, and she's one of the most sought-after executive coaches based out of Bangalore. In fact, she lived in the States for about 10 years, and she's one of the very few people who came back or returned to India. And she's also a board of director, ICF Chennai chapter. And she's specialized in workplace conflict management. And she's also a keynote speaker. And she also runs her own podcast slash YouTube channel, and where she hosts some eminent speakers across the globe. And I'm proud to introduce her to this session. And over to you, Subha. Hearty welcome to JNTU alumni webinars as well. So thank you for being part of this journey too.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Naveen. This is indeed a privilege and honor for me to be here, because this is like the first webinar series that you're all starting today. Very, very happy to be here and pleasure to be among all of you. Of course, we already have had a great session from Yashwant. It was, really, I was like completely glued to that. Hope everybody's coming out of ChatGPT and then be there with me for another 30 minutes to listen to something, which may sound a little different, from whatever we have discussed so far. Beautiful. Thank you so much once again. Of course, let me quickly share my screen. Hope you're all able to look at my screen in the PowerPoint presentation mode, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, great. So when we were discussing about we are having this, when Naveen mentioned that we are having this webinar series, we are starting from alumni, I've taken up this new role and all. Then first question for me was who is the audience? Then he said, it's from probably freshers till leaders, right? Because it's an alumni. Then I felt like adversity quotient is the topic which I have taken up as a theme for this month and next month. I asked Naveen, is it okay to bring this up? Immediately he said yes. And there is also some relevance that I saw when we were discussing on ChatGPT, right? Then I thought, okay, I'm in the right place. I'm bringing in something relevant to all of us here. Yeah, thank you so much for accepting and then agreeing to have this topic, which is very close to my heart as well. So, okay, so already Naveen has spoken a lot about me. He has already covered, and I'm not going to really delve deeper into who am I, why am I here. So let me take us through the main topic that we are going to discuss today. See, if you look at it, I'm using the word discuss. Yeah, of course, I'll be sharing something, but after that, I would be more than happy to discuss, answer to any of your questions. Like I said, you can note it down. Even though we are calling it as webinar, I'm bringing in a mixed model here where next 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes, I would like to take us through a mix of webinar come workshop. Yeah. So the reason why I'm bringing in that mix is
Subhagaru, I think
yeah,
we can't hear you.
How about others?
No, we can
Actually
hear
Kumar, it may be something to do with it.
Yeah, we are able to hear.
We are able to
Yeah,
hear.
we are able to hear.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Please go ahead. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So when I say mix of workshop and webinar, let's do some exercise when we are talking about adversity. Yeah. So if you have a pen and paper or something where you can scribble down something, that would be great. So before getting into any exercise, what is adversity? Yeah, adversity is nothing but difficult or unpleasant situation. Yeah. It could be that now that we are all talking about layoffs, right? It could be that somebody in your network, they're laid off for some reason. Yeah. Or you're looking for some growth, it is not happening as you wish, or you are having a conflict with somebody in your workplace. Yeah? Or it could be something like, something personal, right? We have had a difficult 2 years. For the past 2.5 years, we have seen a lot of difficulty, right? There could be certain side effects we are still, exercising now. Yeah, even though we have come back to normal, new normal and all other stuff, right? But still there are side effects that we see here and there. Or it could be something similar like, okay, you know what? I didn't like the food today. Yeah? Even that could have created some unpleasant situation at home, right? So it could be anything which creates some difficult and unpleasant situation. That is known as adverse scenario. Yeah, adverse is all about. So then what is adversity quotient? It is a scale. Yeah, even though I don't want to give any number or any statistics here, anything tangible here, it is an ability that we have, using which we can manage such unpleasant, difficult situations. Whenever we say unpleasant and difficult situation, there are challenges that we foresee, right? So as long as our adversity quotient is high, we will not only be able to manage such situations, we can also convert those challenges into opportunities so that we can grow. Yeah, that is what our adversity quotient is all about. This is the definition that we are going to use for our discussion ahead. So now, I would like all of you to think about some adverse situation where you have faced something recently. It could be that you just had a tiff with your spouse today, or with your children today, or with anybody today, or something major, right? You expected some promotion, it didn't happen, right? Even that could be the unpleasant situation for you. Or you're applying for jobs, it is not happening as you wish, right? Or you've been attending interviews, you're clearing everything, but the final interview you are not able to clear, right? So you're creating some pattern, some negative pattern in your life, or something negative happening, recently, which is happening right now, or which you have faced recently. You can kind of scribble it down, write it down in your notebook, or you can keep it in your mind, And when you faced such scenario, you can now, the next step, what you are going to write or think in your mind is, what exactly happened or what exactly is happening now when you are thinking about that unpleasant situation, or when you are going through that unpleasant situation now. So you can think about your emotions, feelings, who are all the stakeholders involved here. Even when I use the word stakeholder, it could be even your spouse or children or in-laws or anybody for that matter. It could be your siblings or parents, right? So whoever is the stakeholder, or your boss, or your subordinate, or your peers, or the board, right? So whoever is the stakeholders involved, you can note them down. And how do you respond, or how did you react or respond to that situation? What was the outcome? If you can note all these things down, that would be great. I'll give you a few seconds to think and then write it down. Okay. And now that we have some idea about what adversity quotient is all about, right? So whenever we say there is an adverse scenario where I'm facing some challenge, how can we measure our adversity quotient is the way you have handled it, right? It could be what was the outcome that you had, or what is the outcome that you would like to have, right? Even that thinking can be the benchmark for you to scale yourself. Where do you see yourself related to adversity quotient? Mark it in your notebook. The scale what I'm giving you here is 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being high. What is the score you will be giving in terms of how did you handle, or how are you handling that unpleasant scenario? What was the outcome that you have already achieved, or what is the outcome that you would like to achieve? Based on these two metrics, you can give yourself some number here. In the scale of 1 to 10, 1 is the low number, 10 is the high number. If somebody wants to put your numbers here in the chat, that would be great as well. What is the number? What is the scale? What is the quotient that you are giving to yourself? I'm seeing something. Okay, 6. Okay. Now, let's go a little futuristic, right? Same on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low and 10 being high. Where would you like to see yourself related to this adversity quotient? What is the number that you would like to reach? Yes, definitely 10, Naveen. So now the gap is 10 minus 6, 4, right? See, that is you can also identify 4, the gap that you have. Yes. Wing Commander has also mentioned 10. 10 is the number that you would like to reach. Fantastic. So how are we going to do that? Whatever the gap that you have identified right now for yourself, how are we going to reach? I'm going to share a couple of elements which you can use depending on the scenario, depending on your ability to manage something, you are going to use it. So for that, you will see why I have a couple of pillars, right? And then what exactly we are building, you are going to see. So first pillar, I'll be introducing a couple of pillars that you can build for yourself so that you can reach the level of adversity quotient, right? Whatever you would like to have to manage all those challenges and convert those challenges into gifts. So the first thing is accept and adapt. So I had something else in my mind, and as an example, right? I would like to pick this same chat GPT that we were discussing about, right? Whatever questions that we have, whatever problems that we want to solve, there is an answer, right? At the same time, it is also bringing us some challenges. Okay, what is going to happen to my profession, right? I'm also a CXO resume writer. When I started off as a resume writer, a couple of my, my friends, cousins, everybody said, what, Subha, already we have an app which can create, resume to people. So what are you going to do? Everybody is aware of apps. They can download, they can, put in some information, they can create a, template. Just they have to put in their name and personal information, tweak it here and there. Then how are you going to build your business, right? That's where I started my second innings. After quitting my corporate journey, I started off as a resume writer, right? So that was like an input for me. Okay, so that means, what does it mean? Can I go away from all these apps? Yeah, can I live without these apps? Maybe yes, I can. But do I have control in my clients' life where I tell them, what, don't rely on those apps? Can I do that? No, I cannot. So what I should do is, I have to just accept the fact that there are technologies, right? See, it's not that, no, I was the only resume writer in the whole world, right? There were 100 resume writers were there with huge credentials than me at that point in time. So I just looked at that apps or whatever the technology was bringing in as one more competitor. That's it, right? So then what is the competitor, the value proposition that I'm supposed to give is, okay, how am I going to create that difference compared to that app, which is, one more human being, right? See, today we are looking at ChatGPT as another human being, because artificial intelligence is what we are talking about, right? So it can easily replace my job, whatever I'm doing. See, today I'm talking about executive leadership, right? Coaching. Maybe tomorrow this ChatGPT can become a coach, right? So it can adapt to all the formula or the strategies framework that we have. It can become a coach, but still, can I replace me? No, definitely not. How? Because I am accepting that technology is going to disrupt my growth. The minute I accept, I adapt to that technology in some way, right? So what can I do? How best I can use this technology for my benefit, for my growth, right? What can I do? I can foresee how I have seen my growth, as how I have achieved growth amidst all these challenges is like, okay, what is the value proposition that I'm giving to my client, right? What is extra that I'm doing, or what is the difference that I'm making in my, client's life? Okay, is there any other machine, be it artificial intelligence or something, can it do? No, it cannot. So that means I have to continue to adapt to all the other changes which are happening, right, in the industry. So I should be aware of all these technologies coming up. Yeah. What happened? It started helping me to have the right set of, communication or the conversation with my clients. Because initially, since I come from, IT background, people from, companies like TCS and all started approaching me. I was able to talk in their language because I adapted to the changes which are happening. I used all these, the technology or people or all the things which I was looking at as a competitor, right, to gain knowledge, improve my experience, improve my skill set, right? So I could change the challenge into a gift. Initial days, I completely relied on websites, right? Whatever I was doing, I relied on website in terms of learning whatever is happening in the industry. Even today, whenever I'm coaching somebody or building any, CXO resume, I rely on websites, Google, because that's where I understand how different, job profiles are working. What is the expectation in different organizations, so that I can help my client to achieve all those stuff, right? So accept and adapt is the first element, first pillar that I would like to introduce here. And then direction, right? See, once you accept and adapt, right, you have to create a direction for yourself. I have created certain formulas and strategies which are helping me based on my personality, my learning ability. Yeah, it's completely up to me, right? Because I am well aware of who I am, right? Where do I feel low? Where do I feel high? I have that self-awareness, right? As a part of my executive coaching, where do I work with my clients? In bringing that self-awareness, right? So once I have that self-awareness, I'm able to create some direction for my growth, right? So the minute I get into any adverse scenario, right? Adversity, challenge is very, very common, right? For example, I never, nobody in my family had any business background, right? I didn't, when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I didn't even know the difference between marketing and sales, or, lead generation and sales, right? I just had to use it. I just had to learn it along the way. So whenever I was, struggling to pitch, right? Then I came back, understood, okay, where am I struggling? Then I created the direction, right? So those challenging moments helped me to create a direction for myself. When I'm talking about the direction, it's not only about upskilling or learning from mistakes and all, also building that network. Yeah. So who all should be there in my network? Okay, where all are the places that I should be a part of somebody's network? Right. See, a perfect example is Naveen and how we got connected. Somebody a common connect, they connected me to Naveen, saying that what, they are having a podcast. You can connect with them, have a conversation, see where it's going to go, right? I just had a conversation. Then I had something to about it that day. I got on board, and then I started connecting many people with Naveen. See, this is how, and then Naveen started helping me in certain other areas. Like he's connected me in a couple of other places. In fact, after 3-4 years, we met very, very recently. Yeah, till the time we didn't even meet. That happened naturally, yeah? Organically it happened, but that also gives us some idea about, okay, so what, when we make certain connections, right, we are able to help each other. It's like giving back. I didn't pay him anything, he didn't pay me anything at that point. Money is like it will come later on, right? So the direction, clarity in direction, right? The minute you bring in some clarity in the way, the path that you need to walk, automatically you are going to create some, convert the challenge into a gift. But in that adverse scenario, how are you going to bring in that self-awareness is where the challenge will be. That is something that we can always discuss later on. Yeah. So right now I'm just introducing some pillars. And then value and values, right? See, you are put in an adverse scenario, right? You are facing that scenario, right? In this scenario, it could be that you are a mediator. Say, your team is bringing in some problem. Yeah? 2 people in your team, they are bringing in some problem. Here, they are looking up to you to have some solution, right? Here, your job is, your role is to become a mediator, right? Once you have clarity in that role, you are going to put some value on the table, right? You will tell them something from your experience, or somewhere you are going to mentor them or guide them, so that the 2 people in your team, there is going to be some amicable solution coming up here, right? Or there is a possibility that you are one among those 2 where you both are bringing in a problem to your manager, right? To your boss, right? There, what happens? You are a part of that conflict, right? So here, whatever adverse scenario that you are in, having clarity on the role that you are playing, and then, so what is the value that you are creating in that scenario is very, very important. Yeah. So this is where managing your emotions, self-awareness, and everything comes in place, right? So what is the value that you are adding so that you can convert the challenge into a gift? So here, since I'm bringing in something related to conflict, so if there is a conflict, what is the value that you can add in here so that you create some win-win scenario? It's not like you are winning, the other person is losing, or you are losing, or the other person is winning. So if you go with that mindset, what, I should win, the other person is going to lose, you are not really bringing in any value. So again, clarity on your role will help you to understand what is the value that you are bringing in there, right? So as I mentioned, I have, if you look at it, I have also mentioned something as values, right? In bracket, you see value, right? 2 things you are bringing in here. One is your value. What is the value that you are bringing in there? And then what are all the values you are bringing in there, right? Integrity, honesty, right? Transparency. There are many values that you may be carrying as a part of region, religion, cultural background, and the place that you are living in, from the place that you have moved from, right? We all bring in different cultural perspectives, which helps us to build some, values around it, right? It could be your organizational culture as well. So that those values, which are all the values that you are utilizing to convert the challenge into gift, once you have that clarity on that, it is, the journey is going to be much, much easier. Then the energy. Energy is a powerful tool, right? I don't know how many of you here are, exposed to law of attraction. I think, if I'm not wrong, we also have, TG, we also have one, episode on that, right? So you can, I would highly recommend you, go and watch it. So law of attraction is nothing but, you don't have to really believe in that concept, but law of attraction is nothing but whatever the energy that you put in, you are going to get back the same energy. Yeah. Put in the sense to, they use the word universe, right? So if you bring that universe into somebody else, it could be your spouse. The morning when you wake up, right? If you wake up with some, wrong ways, wake up in the wrong ways in this, with some negative emotion, right? On that day, you will see that, you will feel that, okay, everybody is feeling the same way. Yeah. It's about all the energy that you are, showing up, establishing in that scenario, same energy you will be bringing in. I remember watching one movie, it's a Tamil movie. There will be one scene, where the hero will go to the, mountain, and then he sees one boy shouting in that mountain, right? Some negative stuff. That boy scolds that mountain and using all the, bad words. Then the mountain echoes the same thing, right? Then the child thinks that boy thinks that, okay, mountain is, scolding him back. Then this hero kind of corrects that boy, saying that, you know what, now shout something which is positive. He gives him some tips. Yeah. The minute he shouts that, the mountain echoes that. There is an echo where he sees that, okay, the positive words are getting repeated echoed by the mountain. Similar scenario happens, similar, thing happens here. We say, all of you are techies here, majorly techies here, right? So we all have read this, Newton's third law. We all are aware of Newton's third law. There is a, opposite reaction to, all the reaction, right? If you deeply get into that, the reaction, the energy in that reaction is going to be the same, right? So energy, what is the energy that you are bringing in there in that scenario is what is going to determine the amount of effort and time that you are going to put in to convert the challenge into a gift, right? So this energy is a particular, pillar which is going to help you to move from that 6 to 10. You're, upping your adversity quotient. So look at, you should also, figure out some ways to observe your energy level. Yeah. The minute you get into any challenging scenario, what is the energy that you are bringing in on the table, right? If you feel like, okay, you are bringing in some negative energy, it could be that you are feeling sad or, angry or, some negative emotions are going on. You can quickly work on something. Yeah. You can build some tools which will help you to kind of neutralize. It is very, very tough to, move from negative energy to positive. I'm not advocating that, but you can neutralize your energy. This is very, very much the reason why I'm spending more time here is don't try to, unless until you have already practiced some mindfulness exercises or something, don't try to move from that negative energy to positive energy space because it will quickly, bring you down to that negative energy. Yeah. If you have some tools to do that, well and good. Otherwise, work on some ways where you can move from that negative energy to that neutralized space. A couple of exercises I normally, give it to my clients whenever we have one-on-one or group sessions. See, one is like, you can kind of, if possible, in that scenario, you can listen to some noise which is coming from, far away. Yeah. Listen to that for a few seconds and then bring that attention back to the nearest sound. So here the nearest sound should be your heartbeat. Yeah. Listening to that heartbeat, that sound, right? If you can do that, that means you are bringing your energy somewhere else, shifting your energy somewhere else, which will help you to neutralize your energy. Like that, there are multiple, things that we can always discuss later on. So look at your energy. How can you shift that negative energy to a positive, or neutralizing then to a positive energy will help you to up your adversity quotient here, in the adverse scenarios. Then the rigor, right? So here, rigor is something like, how quickly you can bring in some focus on your thoughts, right? Not only bringing in focus on, how your thoughts are working in at that moment, right? Also, how you can bring that thought, use those thoughts into, creating that win-win scenario in that adverse moment. Yeah. So rigor is very, very important. How quickly you can do that. Yeah. Like how I explained in that energy part, how quickly you can move from the negative side to the neutralized state is by focusing on your thoughts and how quickly you can shift those thoughts. It's a big cycle. If you have already something which can help you to bring that rigor in the process, well and good. Otherwise, we can always connect back and then discuss on that. And then the skill. See here, as I mentioned, a couple of examples that I gave initially when we were discussing about accept and adapt. Skill. Maybe your communication is giving you some trouble. Yeah. So because of your communication, even though you have good intention, at that moment, but your tone is not really helping you, at that moment. Yeah. It could be that many times we say, I'm a very straightforward person, right? When a straightforward person talks something, the tone may look like aggressive, or, it may give some negative energy. It may induce some negative energy there, right? Because you may speak, kind of loudly or with some speed, yeah, because you feel like, okay, you know what, I'm transparent here, right? Here, your intention may be right, but the way you speak might create or, elevate that adverse scenario into, add more fuel to that adverse scenario, right? So there is a possibility that there are some skills that you are supposed to build, which gives you that confidence to face that adverse scenario. That is something that you can figure it out. Yeah. Where should you focus on? Or see, there is also another, always we focus on where we need to improve, right? There is also another thing which I strongly believe in is like use your, strength to your advantage, right? There could be same communication can be your advantage, right? So, but are you using it to your advantage? Maybe not, right? So like that, you can identify the skill or the capability, which you can use it as an advantage to convert the challenge in that adverse scenario into gift, or identify the weakness and then work on it. Yeah? Skill is very, very important pillar here to be, delve deeper and then identify whether to use your strength or use it as your strength or build and upskill yourself in some areas. And then this is again an important, pillar, I, right? I is nothing but you, I. Yeah. So what exactly am I doing here, right? So that is one question. Then the second question is, what is in it for me in that adverse scenario, right? What is in it for me? Sometimes, we unnecessarily push ourselves into some adverse scenario, right? Because being in that silent space is very, very tough for us, right? Be there, quietly observe something. It's very, very tough for us, right? So the minute we ask, okay, what is in it for me? Why am I here in this adverse scenario, right? Probably just moving out of that place itself will bring in some peace of mind, right? So we have the tendency to, jump in and advise. And especially as we age, as we mature, as we, build more experience in life, right? We feel like, okay, we can jump in and give somebody some advice. Maybe that person is not looking for any advice, right? So many times we push ourselves into some scenario where we are the source who are creating that challenge. So what is in it for me? Why am I here? See, these questions will, you can create more questions using that word I, right? Whichever is going to help you. But these are a few important questions normally I ask, and I ask my, clients to ask, right? So I is an important pillar here, which you can again ask many questions to understand whether you should be here. If you should be here, if the answer is yes, I should be here, then what is your role? Yeah. Maybe the other person is just looking for some sounding board. In that scenario, just listen. You don't have to really jump in and give any advice. Or if you feel like, okay, that person is looking for some mentoring or guidance or advice, then you do that. Yeah? Clarity in that I, becomes a critical pillar for you in that adverse scenario, which will, see, this is one pillar which you can use it to quickly jump from that 5 or 6 or 4 to 10. Yeah. This is something I would, highly recommend everybody to please try it out and see how magical it can be. And then the trust, right? See, trust is again an important element here, right? Again, Naveen, here I would like to really, really thank you for, inviting me here because, you trusted me. Because this is like, if you look at the way, this is first webinar series, it's very, very important that, the speakers are, bringing in speakers, yeah, and the topics also. It's not easy to, bring in some topics that are, really, really interesting for this particular audience, right? So Naveen trusted me, right? I trusted Naveen, and then we are here, right? Likewise, how are we building trust among all the stakeholders in our ecosystem? Yeah, and how we trust somebody? That is also another question, right? So there is a master coach, he gave when we were having a conversation, he mentioned something which I have taken it as a formula. Whenever I am in doubt, right? So it is, end of the day, we are all human beings, right? So, there are situations where we go into some situation with some doubt. So maybe the other person is, wanting to take something from me, or, they are going to take some advantage of us. We go with some negative, mindset there, right? So, but there is no other way that we have to be there, right? That also pushes us into some challenging adverse scenario. So in that situations, what we can do is, even though our intuition may say that, okay, you don't have to trust that person, but you have to be there. Let's go with the mindset of, okay, I'm going to trust that person, but not 100%, but 20 to 30%. Let's, we need not go there with that negativity in minus or zero, but go there with little positivity. That will help, again, energy, right? That little positivity will exhibit a huge energy. The other person, even though the intention may be wrong for that other person, but you will see some magical things happening. Yeah. So this is something, the trust is a critical thing, critical leadership element in leadership also, right? How easily, quickly you are able to build some trust with your team members, yeah, with all the stakeholders in your organization. So trust becomes an important element here, pillar here, when you are building your adversity quotient. If you see any gap, it's very, very important you work on it. And then yin and yang, right? So when we are talking about yin and yang, the black and white, or it could be positive and negative, right? But how I am looking at yin and yang of life is, this is something that I've, again, I normally put it as, okay, I'm gracefully aging, right? Let's not call ourselves as, okay, I'm getting old, gracefully aging. So yin and yang is nothing, but it's not really black and white or positive and negative. Whenever I'm getting into any negative, scenario, how can I look at some positivity there? Yeah. One quick example, what I can give is, yeah. So I'm a corporate, coach, right? See the CHROs or somebody in the leadership position in HR becomes my, counterpart in the organizations. So here I have had multiple, unique scenarios. Some people, right? Anybody who is the representative of the organization, sometimes it could be the project manager who is talking to me to, get me on board as a corporate coach, right? A leadership coach and all. So sometimes what happens, people, when we have that initial conversation, when I pitch in, they will be speaking so nicely that I go with it. When I come out of that, conversation, I feel like, oh my God, I'm going to get this project. And then immediately, okay, this is the money that I'm going to get in another 3 months, 6 months. And then I start planning investment, stuff and all. Maybe nothing happens there, right? Whereas the other, party where, the way they speak would be really, really harsh, rude, whereas I get that project. Yeah. What exactly is happening there, right? So looking at all these, what I have decided is like, what? Subha, when you are pitching, don't worry about how the other party is speaking, right? Because when somebody is speaking, to me in a rude, way, somewhere, in the initial days, and I'm talking about the initial days, I used to feel a little low, oh my God, I'm not going to get this project. Whereas, it was vice versa with some other stakeholder, right? Then what I decided is like, what? Let me not have any opinion about these people, right? What happens there? I'm creating some image where I'm judging somebody from some manner, some way, right? That judgment comes between me and the other project, right? When somebody is talking to me nicely, I go with the mindset that, what? I already got that project, but end of the day, I don't get that project. Then that, putting me in the disappoint mode, then I feel low, think about, okay, what went wrong, all those stuff. Whereas the rude party, where I, get into, oh my God, this party is already rude and I'm not going to see, again, I get into some negative mode, right? So getting in that conversation without any with non-judgmental mode has been helping me a lot, because I'm focusing only on what is the role that I'm playing when I'm having that conversation. Whenever I'm talking about, okay, ROI and all other stuff, I become a coach. Whenever we are talking about the commercial, I become the, business owner, because I have to play that role of a marketing head or a sales head, right? So in that conversation, if I'm the only person, right? So that switch I am able to make when I understood that there is nothing called negative or positive. It's all about, when am I using my right brain? When am I using my left brain? Left brain has been attributed for my logical thinking, all these ROI and all other stuff. The right brain is my creativity when I'm becoming a coach, right? So I'm just focusing on that in an yang of right brain and left brain. Yeah. Initial days, I was only that, left brain, where I was judging somebody, seeing and trying to look at some logic there, where I was struggling to do that pitching, losing that opportunity. But the minute I started using my left and right brain in the, well-balanced way, even though again, it doesn't mean that I'm getting all the projects, all my things are getting converted into projects. No, but I know how to handle it, right? So adversity quotient is nothing but converting challenges into gifts. Gifts doesn't mean that we are getting that monetary benefit, right? Gift is also something like, what? I'm growing now as an entrepreneur. Yeah, now that I have that entrepreneurial mindset, now I have that risk-taking ability, right? Then I invest my money into upskilling or multiple areas, right? So that's what the challenge and gift that I'm talking about. So these are all the pillars that I have introduced today. So now, when you looked at, if you look at your notebook or the paper where you have scribbled down something, now that I have introduced a couple of pillars to you, I can show all the pillars that I have introduced to you. It's up to you to decide what is the gift that you would like to take, you would like to convert from those challenging, because there is no one gift here. Yeah, it's not only money, it's not only network, it's not only that promotion, right? So gift is something that you should be clear about. What is the gift that I would like to take from this adverse scenario? Yeah, it should be customized. It should be personalized for yourself, because you are an individual. You are unique in unique ways, right? Based on your personality, your uniqueness, what is the gift that you would like to take from that challenging scenario? It's up to you. And how are you planning to convert your challenges into gifts now is the question that I would like to leave here in this platform, so that you can think through. I would be more than happy to answer any of your questions. My credentials are there. Naveen had already shared my LinkedIn profile. You can, I would be more than happy to connect with all of you and then answer any of the questions that you may be having after the session also. But right now, I'm happy to answer.
Yeah, there is one question from Mr. Vishwa Narahari. What is known AQ for Indian community? And which country has the best adversity quotient? I think this is a profound question.
Wow. Okay. So see this AQ. Okay, this is a question. Probably I may have to rely on ChatGPT and then get some data. Yeah. I don't have the data right now with me, but definitely I would. Thank you so much, Vishwa. Right? You said, Naveen?
Yeah, Vishwa Narahari.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Vishwa Narahari. What I can do is definitely let me do some research and then share that with Naveen so that Naveen can share it. I don't have any statistics right now with me. That's a beautiful question. Thank you so much for asking that.
No problem. Thank you, Andy. It's so nice. And can I ask one more question?
Yes,
the
please.
last pillar you're talking about, that yin yang, is one thing quite abstract for us. I mean, I used to hear a lot about yin yang. I studied, but in the context of this AQ, it's really out of bound for us. I'm a technology guy. We go on based on 1 + 1. So this is, and you are dealing this subject, very abstract subject, with a high confidence and with a lot of knowledge, which we are not able to recognize. Sorry about it.
Yes, please. Yeah, thank you for asking that question, because the psychology and understanding mind and then technology is probably ChatGPT is the combination of these two, but I can totally understand where you are coming from. So when it comes to that yin yang, right? Normally it is a Chinese philosophy basically, right? So Chinese philosophy, as per that original philosophy, it is all about negative and positive, right? So we say, right, as a person, I have good as well bad in me. Yeah? Whatever somebody sees as good can be bad to somebody else. Right? So say, for example, if my son comes home and then he does some mischievous stuff, I'm going to scold him, right? I scold him, which is wrong from his eyes, right? But as a parent, it is right. Scolding him is right as a parent, right? But there is a, here, if you look at the adversity quotient, so when I'm scolding my son, there is a difficult scenario here for both of us, because later on I may feel guilty about scolding him, right? So how can I convert that positivity and negativity into that, now that when I'm scolding him, my adversity quotient is very, very low, because I'm only reacting. I'm angry. All my, the yin, yang is up. Generally, yin has been, seen as positive. Yang has been seen as negative, right? Yeah. If we look at it that way, so yang is high up, where my adversity quotient is low, because I'm not creating any gift here. I'm actually, by scolding my son, I'm adding more fuel to that scenario, right? Instead of scolding him, if I can keep quiet, even though he has done some mistake, and then listen to him, right? He may have something that, which probably completely converts that scenario into something else. Maybe he needs help in that scenario, which as a parent, I'm not seeing. Right? The minute I calm myself, instead of showing that angry, just listen to him. If I can do that, then my adversity quotient is up. So that yin and yang, how can I build that yin thingy a lot? Then, lower that yang.
Yeah, got it. How you took that context. And thanks, Naveen, for taking my question. If you don't mind, I have one more question. I think I put in there only. In the context of the first pillar, you said accept. There is one thing. Is in the context of AQ, is accept is same as compromise?
No, not exactly. Yeah. So compromise or, compromise comes under how we are reacting to the scenario. Yeah. Say, again, there is a scenario, adverse scenario. If I keep quiet and then move away, yeah. If I'm moving away with some sad feeling like, okay, you know what, I'm not able to really open up and then speak my mind there. Yeah. Then that means I'm compromising, right? It is not accepting. Accepting, here when I mentioned accepting is accept the fact that I am in that the difficult scenario. Accept the fact that ChatGPT is there. It may replace my job.
Okay.
Accepting that scenario as is, yes, I am facing difficulty. See, where the problem happens is there is a cycle. Yeah. First, we do not accept that, okay, I'm in the denial is where we start. Whenever we are in any situation. No. If I keep quiet, everything will solve on its own. Right? That is not the acceptance that I'm talking about. Accepting that, yes, I am in that difficult scenario now.
Okay. Thank you. You are trying to explain, but we do not have that much knowledge as you in this context. So we'll try to understand that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I ask
kind
a
of
question?
a reality.
Naveen?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? A good presentation, Subha. So
Thank
I'm
you.
just trying to abstract, okay? I mean, I get an impression that you might have used philosophical concepts, a path towards self-realization, okay? When I was looking at accept, adapt, aware, okay? So these are all someone want to go towards self-realization, okay? And also this Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay? Self-actualization. So are you trying to coach mediators, or are you trying to obviously conflict resolution is a very difficult task, not only at workplace or in personal life. So who is your target audience in general?
Okay. So I work with leadership people in leadership positions. See, when I say leadership position, right now that we have young organizations as well, right? So it's starting from 12 years of experience till 25 plus. Like even I have one-on-one clients who are in C-suite, CFOs, CTOs, CEOs and all. When it comes to the corporate, generally they have this people who are handpicked as potential leaders. Yeah. And then the second set of audience is going to be the leaders who are already there. Yeah, that is the target audience. Coming back to your question, I'm a coach, I'm not a mediator. Yeah. So when I say I'm a coach, when it comes to conflict management, there is a group coaching, also team coaching. So group coaching is where we have, say, leaders from cross-functional, cross functions. Yeah. Or it could be that among multiple groups, there are different functions, right? BUs, right? So from there we have technology leaders also, right? So where we are having diverse goals, each one of them brings in different goals, and then I help them to navigate those through different paths so that they achieve those goals. That comes under group coaching. There are team coaching where you bring in some issues, right? See, we have, say, 4 different technology teams, right? Everybody is gathering together, create one particular product, right? But there are a lot of conflicts. It's not about technology conflicts, but conflicts are happening among the people, right? End of the day, conflict is between two parties, two different human beings. Even the system may be creating a conflict, processes may be creating a conflict, but where exactly conflict is happening between two different personalities, right? So my job as a coach is to make them aware of their personality, what exactly they want from the conflicting scenario, and then induce that, okay, here it's very, very important that we have to create that win-win. Sometimes, ego plays a major role, right? Especially, among elders, senior professionals, ego plays a major role. Then my job here is to create that awareness so that they create that awareness within themselves, then change their approach towards that conflict. So this is how it works.
Thanks, Subha. I was about to ask about ego, so you addressed at the end. So that seems to be a very big hindrance in resolution. Okay.
Absolutely.
When it's difficult to digest ego. Okay. When in general. Okay. How do you let them digest that?
Okay.
Just
see, it's again, it's a beautiful question. So as I mentioned, challenge into gift, right? So again, as a part of coaching, I don't lead them into anything, right? The minute they have that awareness, right? Okay, ego is not really serving me, neither my growth or somebody else's growth, right? Then the conversation will revolve around, okay, what exactly this ego is making in your life, right? Then it's all about making them feel the impact, right? The minute they feel that impact, the change may not happen in a day or two, but they start changing. The attitude, basically it's an attitude change, right? The minute the attitude changes, the attitude towards ourselves change, it reflects in their behavior, in their communication. For some, it happens quickly. For some, it takes time. It's completely depending on that individual.
Thanks, Subha. Looks like you have excellence besides HR, your excellent skills of philosophy and psychology. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for those nice words.
I think, Srini, that's your strong forte also, the philosophy and and also like spiritualism is really, you are good at it. So you're asking the right questions. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Very
very
true.
I agree too.
Right. And Shubha, sorry, Vishwa, you have a question?
No, thank you. I mean, I think our Srini has covered our questions, some of the questions. That's good. Yeah, thanks, and you are really authority. I mean, we are just in a kindergarten school with reference to you, so we try to understand.
Oh my God. No, it's not like
Wonderful.
that.
and yeah, kudos to you, Subha. I think see, people have not noticed that we are overrunning the meeting, the webinar by 8 minutes. That speaks volumes of how this session went well. And thank you so much once again. With that, I would hand over the podium back to the exec committee.
Sudhakar, go ahead.
Shubha. Yeah, thank you, Shubha. I heard about the 4 Qs like AQ and IQ, EQ, and SQ. So, like, I wanted to know more about the AQ, and you provided that right information. So maybe sometime next you can probably provide more about social quotient and also what we call the EQ, the emotional quotient. I think these 4 together really makes a human what he or she is. So it's very good to know, and hopefully and we can invite you for some sessions. Like, I have a big presence in Bangalore. So I work for Morgan Stanley, so maybe I'll see if there is an opportunity to come and coach few upcoming leaders there. So thank you for your time. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Yes, I'll be more than happy.
Thank you. Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I think, Naveen, we don't have any more questions, right?
Yeah.
I know it's we are running late, but just wanted to. Yeah. So we will.
Can I ask one last question? So
yeah, one last, but it has to be quick and brief.
So, I mean, do you see any difference between men and women in digesting ego?
Okay, so it's a tricky question, I would say. Yeah. So because I don't really see them as men and women when I'm coaching them. Yeah, that's one. Because it's very, very important that is something that I have to practice. I practiced it. Now today I can confidently say that I don't see them as men and women. But again, I do see a lot of men, but it takes a long time for men to digest it and move on to the next step. Yeah, definitely. definitely. But I cannot really, call that out because when it comes to ego or anything, whatever we call it as ego, right? If you look at it, it's coming from the experiences that individual has seen, right? So it differs for one human being to another. But in general, because of the way men have grown into that leadership positions or that authoritative positions quickly than women, it takes some more time because it is a part of the DNA now. So we are trying to take something out of the DNA. It's not easy. So yes, kind of. I'm not really answering to that question.
No, I can just say that women are very good at digesting and compromising.
No, I cannot say that also because it is not true. It is not true.
They'll tell the truth about that's
Shubha,
okay.
I have a comment. When
it's
you
not
were
proven.
during the first pillar, I was about to say, because I thought there may not be enough question time. Part of that, you gave an example about wife, but you should never bring that is a totally different scenario, I think, right? I mean, like compromise, accept this type of. See, all Indians, most of the Indians, they're all happy husbands, happy family, and peaceful families. So the moment wife comes, everything goes with wife acceptance, basically, right?
Okay.
So this acceptance, the quotient artificially goes to 10. That is the best as your, in your scale. So maybe it is more of a statistical thing rather than physical thing, this AQ. That's what my feeling is, right?
But because you don't want to face conflict.
Yeah.
You want to avoid conflict so that you compromise, adopt, whatever you call.
Yeah.
So you don't want to conflict. Every day you don't want to fight, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true.
And here, if you had noticed, I never use the word husband or wife. Yeah. So I'll be using the word spouse.
Yeah,
Right?
I suppose.
Yeah,
Modern.
because see, it is a true. It is true that husband and wife we get into conflicts, right? See, maybe we don't see it as conflict. See, even when a wife or a husband, when one party is shouting at another or showing that aggressiveness to another, right? Whoever it may be, if the other party is getting into that silent mode, right? It doesn't take away the conflict, whereas it has been handled differently. We cannot say that there is no conflict. Yeah, there is no adverse scenario. Scenario is there. It is being handled in one way. But is it a win-win scenario? No, it is win-lose. Or it could be win-win also.
Yeah, it's a workshop. I think that's why I'm asking. We are prolonging.
Yes.
What
Absolutely.
happened is, as a husband and wife, now let's use that word. What happens is, when we get married, we are one. So, but assume that a person is single. He himself have two minds within himself, right?
Yes.
But when you get married, then it is another mind is there. But we join together as a husband, wife. So I only see as that question never comes. Spouse question should never come. It is so that becomes an absolute discussion. Whereas AQ is a statistical quotient. That's what my feeling in general, right?
Okay, so how I am looking at it is like emotional intelligence and EQ.
Okay.
Right? These two are, when we say, the minute we bring in some quotient, that particular word, somehow we connect it with the tangible or the statistical, the element to that, right? Okay. But when it comes to philosophy or any of these, the emotions related or human beings related, right? We can see whatever the number that I asked all of you to give, right? 6, 10 and all, it's just for some benchmarking. That's it. Right. But that is not applicable all the scenarios. See, when it comes to, as you rightly mentioned, it could be that when my adversity quotient, when I'm handling something with my husband, could be really, really high.
Yeah.
Right? Because now we have certain understanding. But whereas when it comes to the other stakeholder, it may be low. It's because I don't have any experience there.
Yeah, situational, mainly.
Situation. Of course. Yeah. We cannot really call something as common here. It is situation. See, that's the reason I didn't want to really say when Srini, Mr. Srini asked me, whether women it's easy for women to digest ego, or I can only say from, my experience. I have seen more, I have more men coaches than women coaches, right? So if I use that as a statistics, then I may say that, what, men are, tough for them to digest. Whereas I say, for example, if I'm coaching more women than men, right? I'll say, what, women are, it's tough for women to digest that ego. So, but that cannot be true. That is only my perception. So, whenever I'm conducting any personal branding session, I say perception related. My perception and your perception is not equal to reality. That's the reason I didn't want to say, okay, this is what the truth is.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely.
I think
Thank you. Yeah.
social conflicts are very difficult, but corporate level, that's my question is related to corporate level.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
my understanding is women are at better at corporate level in digesting everything, okay, acceptance or awareness, compromise, because there is that is more of a what you call objective goal, okay. So then I think that's one of the now at least more women are getting into corporate C-level suits, so they can reach the top level much more faster, okay. I mean, the ego is the one thing which kills many people as such, okay, in conflicts. Okay. Just an observation, but I just want to get confirmation. Yeah.
Definitely.
Thanks.
So
Okay.
again,
Srini. Sorry. Go ahead, Shubha. You were saying something.
One more second. Yeah. So see, the ego, again, I'm not looking at ego as a negative term, because, little bit of ego is also important, so that we focus on that self-esteem part, right? If I don't have any ego at all, right, I may quickly compromise into, accepting everything. I won't bother about self-esteem or, self-care and all of that. So, if we look at that ego in a positive ways, if we give some positive twist to that word ego, that becomes self-esteem, right? That self-esteem, when it goes to extreme, that becomes ego. Yeah. Right. So that's how I'm looking at it. Any negative word for that matter.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. This is really very interesting topic. We can keep on going and keep on going. So it will, I don't think it's going to be like this time is not sufficient. Maybe we can have another session to just Q&A and discuss this egos and all these topics. But thank you. It was very, very interesting and good to understand this quotient, and I'm sure it will be useful for people who are in the middle level management and senior level management. Thank you. And I will hand over back to, we have Suresh Chapidi, who is very actively participating in the JNTUH-AA-USA Association. He has multiple responsibilities. So I'm giving one additional responsibility to Mr. Suresh today to provide formal vote of thanks and conclude the webinar. Thank you. Suresh, to you.
Thank you, Sudhakar sir, for your leadership in managing and collaborating all the activities of JNTU-USA Alumni Chapter. And I'd like to thank Dr. Harigaru for your leadership and taking JNTU-USA Alumni Chapter to its new heights every day. And to our president, Kumar, Rani sir, I don't know how you get your time daily to keep up with all of us. Thanks once again for everything. And today's session, Naveen, it's amazing. We kickstarted the webinar series. It's an extremely good session. And thank you so much for putting together all of these things. I know how much hard work went behind the scenes to make this happen. I sincerely thank you so much and looking forward for many more webinar series coming out of your leadership. And Ashwin, thank you so much for coming to our webinar and presenting on ChatGPT. We learned quite a lot on ChatGPT, and I'm pretty sure all of us are already logging into chatgpt.openai.com. I did, and I started looking at what I can do with my computer-related stuff, and learned quite a bit in this 1 hour session. And we will reach out to you and be in touch with you, Ashwin. Thanks so much. And thank you, Subhagaru, for excellent presentation on adversity quotient. It's really amazing on what we can do when we think as a win-win situation, right? How can we get to that point of win-win and make progress in each and every one of the challenges that we face. It's amazing. I started looking from adversary quotient in a different perspective. It's really enlightening for us. And thanks once again for everyone to join this webinar, and looking forward for more sessions to come. And please feel free to join to us. With that, I'll pass it on to Kumar, Rani, sir. Sure.
Okay. Hey, finally, I think it was wonderful. We have passed 12 o'clock and nobody's bothering and nobody is asking for it. That means, it's how interesting it is. Great. And Naveen, you have done excellent job. I can tell you that. And keep doing it. And now you're the boss. Okay. So
Yeah.
please
You
bring
know.
all these new and excellent topics every month. Let's
Yeah.
have it. Okay.
Sure,
And
definitely.
thank you, all the EC team, everybody, all the participants, and all the speakers. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Of the day.
Thank you. We'll close the session for today.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
So thank you, Naveen. Wonderful, actually. It's a great job.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
So let's find two more for our next session. Okay.
Yeah. Just tell me the topics. I'll get them.
Same second Saturday every
No,
month.
topics. No, I said topics. If there is anything you want me to curate myself, I would be happy to do that. But in addition to that, if we are looking for specific topic for long time, do let me know. I can find that too.
Yeah, but you can also suggest if you have already pipeline.
Yeah,
but
I have pipelined a few, and
yeah.
I'll pick the best and keep a proposal, and we'll go by the consensus.
Correct.
What topics, Naveen, if I ask you, what topics generally you have?
Both the technology and leadership. Actually, I created one Excel sheet. Let me share my screen. Just give me a second. I think I should have somewhere. So I have access to many CXOs as well as coaches from all fronts. And those guys have volunteered saying that, hey, I want to present this topic and all. I don't remember on top of my mind, right from microservices architecture on the technology side, and to how to go about leadership development and many other topics. So likewise, I have a series of topics. I'll share the Excel sheet with all of you so that you can take a look at it.
So if you have topics related to money, okay, making money, management, saving taxes, so that there is a good audience, okay. So for that.
Yeah, I have one speaker from the US itself. I'll line him up.
For the next one, yeah.
Okay. Next one. I'll see if he can join next one or the following
one. We all need money.
Yeah. One small request, Naveen. Let me
not about the need. We need money to donate money.
Exactly. We need money for donation. Yeah.
Naveen. Sorry, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Srini is one of our leader in our group who concentrates on money, and he does a very good job. And in context of that, everybody in America, I will allow some time to clap for him. Srini, you have to clap yourself also. Come on.
Not you're saying for someone, okay?
Okay. Naveen, one simple thing in America, everybody is looking, and every financial person who comes on board about how to legally get money from India to here. But only half story, only what happens in India. We wanted to know one person who can talk authoritatively both in India and America, step by step. In India, step 1, 2, 3, 4. In America, step 1, 2, 3, 4. The simplest example, let it not be very complicated one. What happens is most of the time, people are, they are afraid they don't know. If they know the correct process, everybody will become 100 or 1000% white money from India to America. That's what my feeling. Otherwise, they'll make mistakes and commit mistakes. It will be a very good topic for you to bring a presenter like that. 100%, because I spoke to at least within JNTU, some people, they have some conflict of interest again. But that is not the point. Someone should know both India and America. That's what is the main point. That is my personal sincere request. Everywhere I
Sure,
see,
sure.
that is a requirement. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
thank you and welcome to our team.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
thank you, Naveen. Appreciate.
Naveen, are you in the alumni group? I like to get your.
Yeah, no, not yet. Actually, he's going to be added. Srinivas Batu is going to be our webinar director, and he's appointed as a co-director right now. So this is his first webinar this month.
Yeah.
So he will be running every month hereafter.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah. And he's also from JNTU. So it's not that somebody outsider. So that will be.
I think I created the chat GPT group. We have 27 participants already. Okay. Well,
Oh, wow.
so this is something important I wanted to do a few weeks back.
You did create a chat group already?
Yeah, I something a thought comes, I act immediately. Okay.
ఎక్కడ మాకు కూడా వచ్చిందా మరి?
Yeah. He put it
money
our-
market.
Yeah.
మనీ మార్కెట్ లో ఉందా? నేను వెళ్ళలేదు ఇంకా.
Why you have to create a new group? People can talk to you. You are the GPT for everybody.
No, I think the ideas will come, sir.
That's true.
Reason is I can explore what my topics are.
Yeah.
Now there is a gold mine. Okay.
One day I spent 6 hours just first time and last time. 6 hours on chat GPT. You must have seen my comments in our group. I mean, my account.
Now I'm spending more time on chat GPT, so I'm not getting time to write WhatsApp messages. Okay. But it's very, very good. Okay. So
I experimented one day, 6 hours.
I think I read your post. Okay. And then, so if you do collectively, right, then each explore on something and learn, and then we can create it's like an assistant, okay, where gets the information very quickly, okay.
Yeah, we can talk separately on that. Anyway,
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
you, everyone. Nice to meet you. We'll stay in touch. Thank you.
Margaru, thank you. And Harigaru, thank you.
Harigaru, thank you for finding Naveen the gold mine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aryan. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
You too.